Good afternoon, everyone. It's PJ Cook again, and I thought it'd be fun to get my DJI Mini 3 Pro and just take it out and try to duplicate a little bit of the FPV type flying and just compare what's going on. Now, I have some harsh sunlight in this, and also I had a ND32 filter, which definitely shows a lot more motion blur, which you'll soon see. But just thought it'd be interesting to see if a Mini 3 Pro can film a little bit like an FPV. And sadly, I don't think so. But the actual footage from the camera, it's a better camera than the DJI FPV. So you'll have to see for yourself what you think. But again, it's harsh sunlight because the sun was about to get low on the horizon. And also, it's filmed about 4:30 Eastern Standard in Safety Harbor, Florida. And look, you see all those things flying by? That's bats. So the bats are definitely attracted to the sound of the Mini 3 Pro, which is super quiet. That's crazy. So luckily, none of the bats hit the props, because that would have really stunk. I would have had to go retrieve it from a neighbor's yard or something. But if you see, if I fly slow, the footage looks crystal clear. It's really nice. That's me in the blue shirt walking down the street. And it is much, much harder to film like a neighborhood if you're not wearing goggles. And the Mini 3 Pro is not compatible with any goggle, so I can't just put those on and simulate. There goes another bat again. So as we go down, you can take a look, and you'll see a lot of the lens flares showing up. And again, the sun is really harsh, and the drone is trying to adjust. Probably shouldn't have had an ND32 on it, but what the heck. That's what I normally fly in the midday sun with. You can really see the flare there. But notice how the sharpness is much, much clearer and crisp with the Mini 3 Pro. And as I climb up the tree here, you could take a look at, see the definition of the grand old live oak. And it's definitely a lot clearer and crisper for sure. Flying through the gap. No, just kidding. I don't want to chance my Mini 3 Pro hitting the prop and busting her up. It's a great drone, but look at all the motion blur as I spin the camera around. Unless you go very, very slow, which when you do, the Mini 3 Pro is perfection, but you got to really take your time. So it's good for some things and not good for others. If you saw on my recent post, I filmed an entire 45-minute wedding with the Mini 3 Pro flying over water down at Clearwater Beach. And it really turned out nice. And you see how crisp and clear the details are here. You can almost read the numbers and things off this little bobcat. But it was kind of fun just to do this. Just take a look at the differences since you've just seen a couple of days of FPV flying. I thought I'd bust this out. Haven't flown it since I got back from Illinois 2 weeks ago. So it's just kind of nice to get it out flying. Actually, a week and a half ago. There I am in the front yard. And you can see all the detail in the road itself. But again, the motion blur is quite evident. You don't really see it that much on the Mini 3 Pro or the DJI FPV. Now for these little speed runs, I only got up to about 25, and I really don't know the top speed of the Mini 3 Pro in sport mode. But what you just saw, it goes pretty darn fast. Really the same speed backwards, which is kind of cool. And again, if you pan too quickly, everything is really blurry. It immediately focuses, but if you're just moving around a little too fast, you gotta be really slow and methodical when you're filming with this guy. But it does a great job. Not as quite good as the Phantom 4 Pro V2, but a lot less money, so that's a bonus, and a lot smaller, easier to transport. You see the motion blur there on the grass. And as we turn around, about halfway through this flight here, so there, I just popped it up as fast as I can go. And so obviously slower than FPV with just slamming the throttle full forward. But it's not intended to do that. This drone is for photos and videography, not for speed. But of course at about, I don't know how much, it's, you know, under 200 and what is it? I don't even remember anymore. 200 something grams, so it's definitely, if you're not a professional and a licensed pilot like me, or a certified FAA pilot, then you don't have to worry about registering it. It's so light. Now, of course, I'm flying this with extended battery, so that does take it over the weight limit. But again, mine is fully registered with the FAA. I keep my numbers on the side, of course. So you see, when you go slow, it's crystal clear. And this little tiny drone does fantastic videos and stills. But I just wanted to have a little reference point after filming so many days with the FPV drone to see what this guy's, what it does in comparison. Notice the clarity of that little palm, sable palm, and again the texture on the live oak. Really does a good job. Even the close-ups look great. And again, this is in real poor lighting. But just a little comparison video. I don't think there's enough of those out on YouTube actually comparing things. So I thought it might interest a few people out there, especially the folks that have both. Now again, I don't have the Avatar yet. That camera is supposed to be pretty close to the Mini 3 Pro. So it'd be real interesting how that works. Hopefully it's crisp as you're going fast as well. You see how the lens just focuses right in on the subjects. But you can't beat this one for travel. It's unbelievable how small and light it is. Hope those bats leave me alone. But I do love the bats because they sure keep the mosquito population down. Wish we had more of them. You know, it's interesting. You see that power line on the next street over, and that is Rainbow Farms North. I never even realized, even walking the dog down that street, that there was raised power lines over there, because all of ours in our neighborhood are underground. So much nicer, especially during hurricanes. Just a little trivia point for you. And again, it's nice to have the reverse of the Mini 3 Pro. And one more time, I did film all this in the sport mode. So everything's not going to be as smooth. It's not in the cinematic mode or the normal mode even. So this is the most responsive type mode. I don't know if that has a direct effect on the camera lens at all or the filming, but I've never seen this much motion blur. But then again, I don't usually go ripping around like this. All my filming is slow and controlled and all for cinema or advertising. As you see, backward speed is great. the drone handled it really well. And just a little flying around the flagpole. That's what we used to say in the gunship world as we're doing all our sensor alignments at Herbert Field, that we spend hours flying around a flagpole. So a little tribute to the gunship world. The Spectre reunion is coming up in a couple weeks. Hope everybody can make it. And of course, it's held in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, the home of special operations. Yeah, when you pan, you can really see it. Doing the blur, you gotta go super slow with this guy. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully somebody will find it interesting that has those drones. Well, take care, and thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, please.